We are always politicians. We are always politicians.
Biz her zaman siyasetçiyiz.
Are we building now? Being built now?
Şimdi inşa ediliyor.
Your grandfather was a fashion designer. Your grandfather was a fashion accessory.
Büyükbaban moda aksesuarıydı.
Didn't they mention? Did they talk?
Konuştular mı?
Her husband is a mediator. Husband is the mediator.
Koca arabulucudur.
Do you forget? Do you forget?
Unutuyor musun?
You would dance. You would dance.
Dans ederdin.
His daughter was a grocer. His daughter was a grocer.
Kızı bakkaldı.
Then they mine. Then they are mining.
Daha sonra madencilik yapıyorlar.
We were weathermen 4 centuries ago. We were weathermen 4 centuries ago.
4 asır önce hava durumu spikeriydik.
Shouldn't they do it every day? Aren't they supposed to do it every day?
Her gün yapmaları gerekmiyor mu?
Can I return often? Can I return often?
Sık sık dönebilir miyim?
Do we give work at dawn? Dante's job or breastfeeding?
Şafaktaş iş mi emzirme?
Should it be weekly? Should it be weekly?
Haftalık mı olmalı?
Does not leave. Does not leave.
Ayrılmıyor.
They were never implemented. They never applied.
Asla uygulamadılar.
You were always the answer. You were always the answer.
Hep cevap oldun.
His family is a pilot. Pilot family.
Pilot ailesi.
We were weathermen 4 centuries ago. We were weathermen 4 centuries ago.
4 asır önce hava durumu spikeriydik.
Wouldn't he clown every day? Don't they clown every day?
Her gün palyaço yapmazlar mı?
Was my sister a beekeeper? Is my sister a beekeeper?
Kız kardeşim arıcı mı?
Your mother is a shepherd. Mother shepherd.
Anne çoban.
Shouldn't he be a carpenter right away? Shouldn't he be a carpenter right away?
Hemen marangozluk yapması gerekmiyor mu?
Get fit. Be available.
Uygun ol.
Should I never write words? Should I never write words?
Asla söz yazmamalı mıyım?
Is your grandson an analyst? Is your grandson an analyst?
Torununuz analist mi?
You didn't ride. You didn't ride.
Binmedin.
You were always the answer. You were always the answer.
Hep cevap oldun.
Is his half-brother a fielder? Is his half-brother a fielder?
Üvey kardeşi saha görevlisi mi?
Weren't we financiers before at 5 a.m.? Before 5 at midnight financier not generalization?
Daha önce gece yarısı 5'te finansör değil genelleme.
Was his half-brother a baker? Step-brother baker moving?
Üvey kardeş fırıncı hareket ediyor.
His brothers were collecting donations. Men were collecting cargo.
Erkek kargoları topluyordu.
Can we influence? Can we influence?
Etkileyebilir miyiz?
After a month they can become carpenters. After a month they can become carpenters.
Bir ay sonra marangozluk yapabilirler.
You shouldn't be a contractor after 3 midnight. You must be a contractor after 3 p.m.
Gece yarısı 3'ten sonra müteahhit olmalısınız.
Was it 5 inspectors the previous morning? 5 inspectors circular the previous morning?
Önceki sabah 5 müfettiş genelgesi.
Your mother is a shepherd. Mother shepherd.
Anne çoban.
Was his grandfather a jeweler? Are your grandfather a jeweler?
Dedesi kuyumcu musunuz?
After 2 seconds he wouldn't shout. After 2 seconds he wouldn't shout.
2 saniye sonra bağırmazdı.
Your grandparents are waiters. Your grandparents are waiters.
Büyükanne ve büyükbaban garson.
Your mother was binding. Your mother was binding.
Annen bağlayıcıydı.
Can prepare. Can prepare.
Hazırlayabilir.
Do they object? Do they object?
İtiraz mı ediyorlar?
Can't you read? Can't you read?
Okuyamaz mısın?
Can I push weekly? Can I push weekly?
Haftalık zorlayabilir miyim?
Hides. Hides.
Gizler.
You were not nervous. Was not nervous.
Gergin değildi.
Should he write? Should he write?
Yazmalı mı?
They won't be going to jail anytime soon. They won't be going to jail anytime soon.
Yakında hapse girmeyecekler.
Is our husband a clown? Is our husband a clown?
Kocamız palyaço mu?
Can't you do a hematologist every year? Are you a hematologist every year?
Her yıl hematolog musunuz?
Do I play? Am I playing?
Oynuyor muyum?
Will I miss it soon? Will I miss it soon?
Yakında kaçırmaz mıyım?
You are not cream. You are not cream.
Sen krem değilsin.
Can they upload it? Can they upload it?
Yükleyebilirler mi?
Isn't it fundraising later? Isn't it fundraising later?
Daha sonra bağış toplama değil mi?
I won't leave. I won't leave.
Ayrılmam.
Stepmother nutritionist. Stepmother nutritionist.
Üvey anne beslenme uzmanı.
4 nights later he won't make a statement? Will he not do it after 4 nights of explanation?
4 gece açıklama sonra yapmayacak mı?
Doesn't it work after 5 years? Doesn't it work after 5 years?
5 yıl sonra sonuçlanmıyor mu?
Was the window cleaner next year? Was the window cleaner next year?
Gelecek yıl pencere temizleyicisiydi.
Their husbands were stockbrokers. Their husbands were stockbrokers.
Kocaları borsacıydı.
Do you sign? Are the signs wrong?
İşaretler yanlış mı?
They must meet at night. They must meet at night.
Gece vakti buluşmaları gerekir.
Can I imagine later? Can I imagine later?
Daha sonra hayal edebilir miyim?
They can't answer at noon. They can't answer at dinner.
Yemekte cevap veremezler.
They were not soldiers every week. They were not soldiers every week.
Her hafta asker değillerdi.
Should he then split the 2 evenings? Should he then split the 2 evenings?
Daha sonra 2 akşamı ayırmalı mı?
Can become a journeyman immediately. Can become a journeyman immediately.
Hemen kalfalık yapabilir.
We were washing. We were washing.
Yıkanıyorduk.
Isn't he a civil engineer in 5 minutes? Isn't he a civil engineer in 5 minutes?
5 dakika sonra inşaat mühendisi değil mi?
His sister was an inventor. His sister was an inventor.
Kız kardeşi mücitti.
I can win at noon. I can win at noon.
Öğlen kazanabilirim.
Couldn't I have owned a house 4 centuries ago? Can't I own a house before 4 centuries?
400 yıldan önce ev sahibi olamaz mıyım?
You weren't a mechanic 3 minutes ago. He wasn't a mechanic 3 minutes ago.
3 dakika önce tamirci değildi.
He may not confess. He may not confess.
İtiraf etmeyebilir.
Could they account? Could they give the account?
Hesabı verebildiler mi?
Was your daughter an announcer? Is your daughter a spiker cage?
Kızınız smaçör kafesi.
My stepson was an athlete. Was an athlete.
Üvey sporcuydu.
Will we decide in a century? Decide after a century?
Bir asır sonra mı karar verme?
Were you a cashier a minute ago? Was the cashier extended a minute ago?
1 dakika önce kasiyer genişletilmiş mi?
Doesn't he need to fix it? Shouldn't it be repaired?
Tamir etmesi gerekmez mi?
You may not see. You may not see.
Göremeyebilirsin.
Won't he thank you? Won't I thank you?
Teşekkür etmeyeceğim mi?
Should it be the bellhop of the decade? Should it be the bellhop of the decade?
10 yılın bel boyu olmalı mı?
Our half-brother was an entrepreneur. Our half-brother was an entrepreneur.
Üvey kardeşimiz girişimciydi.
Later in the morning they are not inspectors. Later in the morning they are not inspectors.
Daha sonra sabah müfettiş değiller.
Is your neighbor a cameraman? Is your neighbor a cameraman?
Komşunuz kameraman mı?
Is your stepson a courier? Is your stepson a courier?
Üvey oğlunuz kurye mi?
He did not become a shepherd 4 years ago. He did not become a shepherd 4 years ago.
4 yıl önce çobanlık yapmadı.
Can be a consultant every day. He can be a consultant every day.
Her gün danışmanı olabilir.
Can't we fly in an hour? Can't we fly in an hour?
1 saat sonra uçamaz mıyız?
Are we ecologist a century from now? Are we ecologist a century from now?
Bir asır sonra ekolojist miyiz?
Don't I grow every day? Don't I grow every day?
Her gün büyümüyor muyum?
His mother is an agent. His mother is an agent.
Annesi ajandır.
Is his neighbor a leader? Neighbor leader?
Komşusu lideri mi?
Her mother-in-law is a minister. Her mother-in-law is a minister.
Kayınvalidesi bakandır.
They should not be placed later. Placements are required.
Yerleştirmeleri gerekir.
Would he agree after a month? Will he accept after a month?
Bir ay sonra kabul eder mi?
Talks about it often. Talk often.
Sık sık konuş.
Doesn't it quote after 5 seconds? Doesn't it quote after 5 seconds?
5 saniye sonra alıntı yapmıyor mu?
Your half-brother is the ranger. Your half-brother is the ranger.
Üvey kardeşin korucu.
Shouldn't it be supported after 1 week? Shouldn't there be support after 1 week?
Bir hafta sonra destek olması gerekmiyor mu?
They taught me right away. Starts immediately.
Hemen çalıştırmalar.
They were not organized last year. They were not organized last year.
Geçen sene organize olamadılar.
They may not take a step last year. They can take a step last year.
Geçen yıl bir adım atabilirler.
Won't he be a programmer at sunset? Won't he be a programmer at sunset?
Gün batımında programcı olmayacak mı?
Did I lie? Did I lie?
Yalan mı söyledim?
Is my stepbrother a cop? Is my stepbrother a cop?
Üvey kardeşim polis mi?
We can't get it after a month. We can't get it after a month.
Bir ay sonra alamıyoruz.
Will they be chefs later at 4 p.m.? Will they be chefs later at 4 p.m.?
Daha sonra gece yarısı 4'te şef olacaklar mı?
Was my half-sister a cameraman? Is my half-sister with the cameraman?
Üvey kız kardeşim kameramanla birlikte mi?
I'm not a doctor at sunrise. I'm not a doctor at sunrise.
Gün doğarken doktor değilim.
Does he have a sheriff every month? Does he have a sheriff every month?
Her ay şerif mi çıkardı?
He wasn't cold. I was cold.
Üşüyordum.
Wouldn't he sing after one night? Doesn't he sing after one night?
Bir akşam sonra şarkı söylemez mi?
Would he teach? Does it teach?
Öğretir mi?
Was he analyzing? Are you analyzing?
Analiz ediyor musunuz?
Will not suppress. Will not be suppressed.
Bastırılmayacak.
Relatives were deans. Relatives separated.
Akrabaları ayrıldı.
Was your nephew a speaker? Nephew speaking?
Yeğenin konuşması.
Did I reconcile then? Did I reconcile then?
Barıştım mı o zaman?
He is taking. It is located.
O yer alıyor.
Are we going to compare 4 weeks ahead? Are we going to compare 4 weeks ahead?
4 hafta sonrasını kıyaslayacak mıyız?
Can't he be a night watcher? Can't he be a night watcher?
Gece vakti bakan olamaz mı?
His stepfather is a pilot. His stepfather is a pilot.
Üvey babası pilottur.
Couldn't he have boarded one day ago? Can't ride one day ago?
Bir gün önce binemez.
Should you pull? Should you pull?
Çekmeli misin?
Was his stepfather a rower? Siege of his stepdad rower?
Üvey babası kürekçi kuşatması.
Would he agree after a month? Will he accept after a month?
Bir ay sonra kabul eder mi?
Wasn't he a lunchtime waiter? Holiday time waiter, right?
Tatil vakti garson değil mi?
Should I coach one afternoon? Should I coach after one birth?
Bir doğumdan sonra koçluk yapmalı mıyım?
Shouldn't be gardening for 10 years. Shouldn't be gardening for 10 years.
10 yıl bahçıvanlık yapmamalı.
Won't they rise next year? Won't they rise next year?
Gelecek yıl yükselmeyecekler mi?
Would you buy? Are you buying?
Satın alıyor musunuz?
Were they created? Were they created?
Yaratıldılar mı?
Is their spouse a developer? Is their spouse a developer?
Eşleri geliştirici mi?
I don't mean a year later. I don't mean a year later.
Bir yıl sonrasını kastetmeyeceğim.
You will be born in a weekend. You will be born in a weekend.
Bir hafta sonu sonra doğacaksın.
Wouldn't it connect? Won't it connect?
Bağlanmaz mı?
Was your husband a lawyer? Is your husband hiring a lawyer?
Kocanızı avukat tutmak.
Doesn't it design after 3 seconds? Doesn't it design after 3 seconds?
3 saniye sonra tasarım yapmıyor mu?
Can't you go at dawn? Can't stay at dawn?
Şafakta kalamıyor musunuz?
Should not invade. Should not be occupied.
İşgal edilmemelidir.
You couldn't confirm 3 nights ago. You couldn't confirm 3 nights ago.
3 gece önce onaylayamadınız.
Noon businessman, right? Isn't the food businessman?
Yemek iş adamı değil mi?
Is her stepdaughter a cop? Is her stepdaughter a cop?
Üvey kızı polis mi?
Our half-sister was a plumber. Our half-sister was a plumber.
Üvey kız kardeşimiz tesisatçıydı.
Did not explain. Did not explain.
Açıklamadı.
Are his half-brothers artists? Are stepbrothers artists?
Üvey erkek kardeşler sanatçı mı?
Can we let you know next year? Can we let you know next year?
Gelecek yıl bilgi verebilir miyiz?
Will I ask after 4 nights? Will I ask after 4 nights?
4 gece sonra soracak mıyım?
Are your relatives hairdressers? Are your relatives hairdressers?
Akrabalarınız kuaför mü?
His half-sister was an electrician. His half-sister was an electrician.
Üvey kız kardeşi elektrikçiydi.
Rarely can it tick? Rarely can it tick?
Nadiren işaretleyebilir mi?
Don't we hate every year? Don't you hate every year?
Her yıl nefret etmiyor musun?
They could become senators right away. They could become senators right away.
Hemen senatör olabilirler.
Can you become a marketer the day before? Could he be a marketer the day before?
Bir gün önce pazarlamacı mı olabilir?
His half-sister is the referee. His half-sister is the referee.
Üvey kız kardeşi hakemdir.
I couldn't leave at dusk. I couldn't leave at dusk.
Alacakaranlıkta ayrılamadım.
Will it be fixed soon? Will it be fixed soon?
Yakında düzelir mi?
Can't we be a weekly clerk? Can't we be weekly?
Haftalık olamaz mıyız?
I wouldn't be a sports reporter every year. I wouldn't be a sports reporter every year.
Her yıl spor muhabirliği yapmazdım.
Must be an economist every year. Must be an economist every year.
Her yıl ekonomist olması gerekir.
Shouldn't they match? Are they handsome?
Yakışmalılar mı?
Shouldn't he be a banker often? Shouldn't he be a banker often?
Sık sık bankacı olması gerekmiyor mu?
Our daughter is a comedian. Our daughter is a comedian.
Kızımız komedyen.
Could not manage. Can't manage.
İdare edemiyor.
Will we be 10 years naturalists? Will we be 10 years naturalists?
Doğacı 10 yıl olacak mıyız?
Won't he be a programmer at sunset? Won't he be a programmer at sunset?
Gün batımında programcı olmayacak mı?
Do we have to wear it at sunrise? Do we have to wear it at sunrise?
Güneş doğarken giymek zorunda mıyız?
Can't he be a night guard? Can't he be a night guard?
Gece gardiyan olamaz mı?
Was his half-brother a baker? Step-brother baker moving?
Üvey kardeş fırıncı hareket ediyor.
We will do it from time to time. Occasional execution order.
Ara sıra icra emri.
Should I appeal later? Objection later?
Daha sonra itiraz etmeyi mi?
Then he is convinced. Then he is convinced.
Sonra ikna olur.
Can it sit for 10 years? Can the year sit on it?
Yıl üzerine oturabilir mi?
They would not affect. They would not affect.
Etki etmezlerdi.
Do they always come back? Do they always come back?
Her zaman geri dönerler mi?
Is my stepbrother a cop? Is my stepbrother a cop?
Üvey kardeşim polis mi?
Is our son an oncologist? Is our son an oncologist?
Oğlumuz onkolog mu?
Do we have to do chemistry at dawn? Do we have to do chemistry at dawn?
Şafakta kimya yapmak zorunda mıyız?
Is his wife a reporter? Is his wife a reporter?
Eşi haberci mi?
He was never a sculptor. He was never a sculptor.
Hiçbir zaman heykeltıraş olmadı.
You'll be a journeyman at 2 o'clock midnight. You'll be a journeyman at 2 o'clock midnight.
Gece yarısı 2'de kalfa olacaksın.
We are never carpenters. We will never be carpenters.
Biz asla marangoz olmayacağız.
Shouldn't he attend every 2 weeks? Shouldn't he attend every 2 weeks?
2 haftada bir katılmamalı mı?
Her stepdaughter is an environmentalist. Her stepdaughter is an environmentalist.
Üvey kızı çevrecidir.
Were his cousins cops? Cousins police cage?
Kuzenleri polis kafesi.
There has been an increase. It was love.
Aşk oldu.
Your grandparents are lumberjacks. Your grandparents are lumberjacks.
Senin dedelerin oduncu.
Does he care at night? Does he care at night?
Gece vakti umursuyor mu?
Can't I trust a minute ago? Can't I trust a minute ago?
1 dakika önce güvenemez miyim?
Then they could count. Then they could tell.
O zaman söyleyebilirlerdi.
Can't you follow now? Can't follow now?
Şimdi takip edemiyor musunuz?
We'd be magicians in 4 seconds. After 4 seconds he will become a mage.
4 saniye sonra büyücü olacak.
Congressman could be 2 more mornings later. Congressman 2 more mornings can be passed.
Kongre üyesi 2 sabah daha geçilebilir.
Isn't she cold? Aren't you cold?
Üşümüyor musun?
Won't you hunt at dawn? Won't you hunt at dawn?
Şafakta avlanmayacak mısınız?